welcome to MonoRants at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about films you may have seen at house parties. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and she doesn't ever let him see her coming. It's my co-host and master of none, Kira.
I'm like a cat. You gotta put a bell on me.
I don't think that's what he says.
Nah.
I can picture him saying it, though.
Yeah.
In fairness, I can picture him saying just about anything in
He's
this
wearing
role.
his sneakers for sneaking.
But yes, as promised last week, we are talking The Devil's Advocate.
Yes, a very weird film that a lot of people really don't like, but I adore for a very weird reason.
Given it's a film about Satan and we are card-carrying members of the Satanic Temple, I feel a confession is in order.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually ever seen this. Or, well, I have now.
No, I do.
I think I'd seen bits of it, but I don't think I'd ever actually seen it in full because I completely forgot about the whole sister thing.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's the weakest part of the film for me, so I choose to just ignore Christabella. But I think I found this around the same time that I found the Ninth Gate, and it's kind of in that weirdly supernatural.
Yeah, remember to bring up the Ninth Gate later because I also have an issue that's similar to my problem with the Ninth Gate.
Oh, where it's just overtly supernatural. And you're like, aw, it was all
we'll get
smoke and mirrors up to that point, and now you've made it obvious, and that kind of ruins it.
There's a bit like that in this, but I'll get onto it later on. But no, I really, really enjoyed it. As I said, I had seen bits of it before, and I think I just thought I had seen the whole thing.
I just straight up love Al Pacino.
Oh yeah, I mean, nothing against Keanu Reeves.
I'm a Keanu Reeves fan. I will watch him in
Go back and listen to our Constantine episode if you want to see what Keanu Reeves fans we are. But this was when he wasn't great. Well,
he turned down Speed 2, I think, or one of them to do this because he just didn't want to be like the action guy.
It's just the accent. The accent comes and goes.
Yeah. I've definitely watched him in worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. While he's fine in this, without Al Pacino.
Al Pacino makes this film.
I saw they considered
Theron
Richard Gere
phenomenal in this because she was 21 really when they filmed this.
Was she?
Yeah. She was 21 doing this. She's incredible in it.
Well, she's the second best thing in this. But no, it's excellent fun. And I remember when it came out, but never got to see it. It was one of those ones that kind of just heard about because it was, a film about the devil or whatever, and I was into that sort of shit, but just never got to see it at the time, but was aware of the fact that it was, what the general plot is, which I think I kind of wish I hadn't been. When you watched Fallen for the first time. And
I didn't know what was going on, and I was having a fucking field day.
I didn't tell you that there was anything supernatural. I was like, it's a really good Denzel murder mystery thing.
And then you were like, it's also got, I've forgotten his name. Oh my god.
Oh shit, why can't I also think of his name?
John Goodman.
There
oh my god.
Yeah, John Goodman.
But
and
evil John Goodman, I'd John Goodman is kind of like John Candy in my mind. He's big and lovable and very sweet, and I know he's kind of a bad guy in The Odyssey.
Oh, our brother Arthur.
Yeah, he's kind of Big Dan.
Big Dan, yeah.
But actually seeing him as a villain was like, oh good god.
Well, and in that I
hadn't been expecting that.
But I just
in this, there's no presumptions. Al Pacino is the bad guy, but what kind of a bad guy is
he?
Well,
no, that's what I'm saying. Because from what I recall of this at the time, the trailers and the promotional material didn't try and hide the fact that the devil was running this law firm. And I feel like it kind of would have been a hell of a lot better if you didn't know that going into it and you just thought it was about this hotshot lawyer getting recruited by a law firm in
this
New York
big,
that
massive,
are actually kind of dodgy.
Well, they seem to be a massive global conglomerate, and they have a law division. Which makes sense if they're into
I think it's the other way around, is that they are a law firm who specialises in that when they're going around the board.
I suppose that you get his great speech about how lawyers are the new priests because they're everywhere.
They're everywhere, and when they go around the board, it's people who specialise in different aspects of law that would work for various.
I don't know. It's kind of a nondescript massive corporation that seems to do a bit of everything.
Well, they're involved in everything because they have lawyers for every aspect of every business kind of thing. But if you didn't know it going in, I mean, obviously once the film came out, the cat would be out of the bag, but I feel like it's one of those films where, if you didn't know that there was the supernatural element going in, it would make it that much better. We should probably do a summary.
Yeah.
A summary wherein I am going to do exactly the thing that I said they shouldn't. When hotshot attorney Kevin Lomax gets recruited to a top New York law firm, he thinks it's a dream come true with a salary from heaven. But as his wife Mary Ann starts to slowly break down and Kevin gets pulled into New York's seedy legal underbelly, the dream becomes a nightmare for Mary Ann, and Kevin realises it might not be heaven paying his wages, but the other guy.
In fairness, would rather work for the other guy.
He's definitely got better benefits.
He's fun. He is just enjoying life.
He's great. Al Pacino is just fantastic in this. You are absolutely correct. He is he's no, like, Peter Stormare is a different kind of Satan in and I love him, and he's only in a short bit, but
as a Satan who's like out in the world, having, like, doing his thing,
well, his whole thing about being, he's like, I'm down here in the trenches all the time
with you guys, so you should be on my side because I'm fighting for you. Al Pacino for all of this is just hilariously good fun.
He is, and I think it was about halfway through. I think actually it was at that point where it wasn't, it's halfway through the film, but he's only kind of really been introduced. But when he's walking through the streets with Kevin and he's giving him the whole never let him see you coming
spiel,
be
and then where's the chicken place?
Yeah, it was at that point I was like, he is really channeling George Carlin in this role, isn't he?
Yeah, ranting.
But then particularly, when he goes on his rant about Eddie Barzoom, I was like, oh yeah, he's just, and I like, in a good way.
Yeah,
like
it works.
It's George Carlin doing one of his, like, spoken word, almost
pieces,
rap spiels, when he does his modern man thing, like, and I really appreciate it. Like, he gives his voice a little bit of extra gravel. And it just works so much for the role of this devil who is, like, wheeling and dealing and, like, fast talking, and it's just great.
Knows all the ins and outs. I love the subway sequence when he starts telling the two guys who are trying to mug him.
Therein is the rub for me. That's the one that kind of annoys me, that I feel like is like that bit in The Ninth Gate. In The Ninth Gate, if you haven't seen it, it's...
Oh, when she comes down off the balcony?
Yeah, there's a whole thing where you're not sure throughout the film whether or not it's supernatural or in his head, and as an audience member, you are with him. You don't know if it's supernatural or in its head, but then you see a woman fly.
And you're like, oh, okay.
And you're like, oh, right, okay, so it is supernatural shit happening. And in this... it's just because you see what he's saying there.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this is like that for us as the audience now. We know. Oh yeah, okay. This guy is supernatural.
Yeah.
Whereas up to that point, you've only had Mary Ann having her vision and her weird dreams,
the faces,
and it could just be her going crazy. But when you see him say things to that guy that he clearly shouldn't know, as if they are, he's aware of this thing happening right now on the other part of the city, it's like, oh, so he is supernatural. But the other kind of problem that I have with it is he also lies.
Oh, when he talks to him,
he not to the gangsters, but afterwards Kevin's like, what the hell did you say to him? And he says, I told him that you were going to kick his ass.
Yeah.
And then later on he says, I never lie. But like, he does. And I'm with you. I love it. I love a devil who doesn't lie, or who only lies by omission, and who doesn't, like, directly deceive people.
It's like, I do love because Lucifer is always kind of shown as being, he's the great deceiver, whereas a lot of the time it's like, well, I never told a lie. I never told you anything other than the absolute truth.
And like, you see it towards the end when he uses Kevin's words and voice against him. He's like, I told you to go and take care of your wife, but you said this. And I love that bit, but that's undercut by the fact that he's lied to him on the train.
Yeah.
And that's my issue with it, is like, no, it just, if we're going for that type of devil who doesn't lie and who just lets people see certain things and sets them up.
As a misredirection, where, because he does kind of be like, oh, I told him you'd kick his ass. Hey, that lady's getting up. Come on.
Oh, it is.
And he rushes him off down the train. It is,
but I'm like, it's a direct lie.
To him, yeah.
And I'm like, he said you didn't lie. But it's less that, and it is more the same problem I have with the Ninth Gate there, of like, oh, we could have held on to the mystery for it. Because if you didn't have that bit on the train, or if you didn't know what he said...
Because it's just like the conversation he has with the man on the street, where he's actually he's asking about the chicken place.
Yeah, about the chicken place tic-tac-toe, isn't that it? Yeah, he tells us what he said, that's fine. Because if he didn't have that, it wouldn't be until after Mary Ann dies and his mum tells him that he has any inkling as to what Milton actually is. And we would be with him if it wasn't for that scene on the subway.
Yeah.
It's just a small thing, like, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, yeah, if they handled that a little bit differently. Because, again, it's just, he's such a fun devil, too.
He finds all the good places.
Well, of course he does. He knows all the great places to go. Oh, well, it's probably worth mentioning as well for people who haven't seen, although we're spoiling the shit out of it, for people who haven't seen this film, it starts off with some, like, vile shit.
Oh, God.
There is... Yeah, trigger warning should abound before watching this because there is suicide, there's
depictions of
sexual assault,
there's sexual assault
and child sexual abuse.
Well, yeah,
but that bit at the
some
start,
of it's implied, some of it's very overt, but that bit at the start where she's giving testimony on the stand,
you see the suicide, but then it's with the sexual assault and the child sexual abuse. It's just people.
It's the
talking about. It's people who it happens to talking about it, but it's still horrible.
Her descent is very, very difficult to watch.
But just that bit at the start, the first trial.
Oh God! Like, oh my God!
It sets up the film well. But your man
is
the guy who plays Getty. He's in loads of stuff.
He was Andy Belfleur in True Blood as well, and
the way he plays that teacher. But that one bit in particular, when the poor girl is up on the stand.
Giving her testimony,
and I don't even want to say it.
He's getting off on it.
He's getting off on it, and he's doing something, and it's just...
And that's the moment where...
It is just vile, and I just, like... It actually awoke something, like, primal in me that I wanted to hurt that man badly. And obviously, it's supposed to, because that's the reaction that Lomax has when he's like, as your attorney, I advise you to get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, you need to get away from me
It's a really effective scene, because it evokes that in you, but fuck me, it's just vile just seeing somebody like that.
And then they
getting off on the hurt that they have caused to somebody, it's
but it also
rotten.
Sets up Lomax's character because he knows he's done these things,
and he's able
he will still go.
He's able to get past it and
defend him, and because he wants to win. Lomax wants to win.
Well,
that is his he cannot lose.
Well, he's debating it. He's debating it, and then the press guy comes in and is like, "Oh, this might be your first loss. Is that what it's going to be?" And that's the thing that turns him is no, I can't lose. I can't lose.
Yeah, the goading
and.
This little nudge.
But just that bit then at the end when he's really getting into it with the devil, with Milton, and he's arguing with him and about right and wrong. And he's like, I win. I always win because I'm a lawyer. That's my job. And it's like,
that's what I do.
But it's brilliant.
The grin is getting bigger and bigger because he's like, vanity is my favourite sin.
It's one of those ones where he's arguing so vehemently against him, and then he doesn't even realise that all of a sudden he's arguing the same point as him, and it's just it ties right back to that very first bit in the bathroom when he decides, no, I am actually going to get this paedophile off the charges. And and you see it's mentioned then again about kind of halfway through the film when he's like, he asks him about the Getty's case.
He's like, what's your secret? He's like, everybody has a secret. How do you do it? Because he's supposed to be he says he's always had sympathetic juries. He's had 64 wins.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's really good at picking juries or whatever. And he tells them that there's a hole in the men's bathroom. Yeah, he listens to juries deliberate.
No, not that bit. But when he asks him directly about the Getty's case, and he says, that was some win, and he says, the prosecutor dropped the ball, and he's like, so you think he was guilty? Is that it? And he says, let's just say I started the case with a clear conscience.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you were still able to get past it. You might not have a clear conscience anymore, but you're obviously not that bothered by it.
No, but that's kind of the job of a criminal defense lawyer, unfortunately.
Yes.
That's why they're generally hated.
And that's why, also partly why this film is as fun as it is, because it's just because it's like, hey, look, lawyers and demons.
Yeah.
But in that way of showing it's not just the obvious cartoonish portrayal of lawyers being evil. It's, you kind of... It is your job, and you are paid to win, and you have to do it. So you have to kind of play mental gymnastics with yourself and then before you know it, you are defending an obvious murderer and child molester.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the film, like, because I like the way that plays out as well. All the stuff. Well, there's
the stuff with the triple homicide and the stepdaughter.
All of that side is actually quite enjoyable. I'm not normally like a courtroom drama person, whether it's procedural TV shows or movies.
No, Kevin Lomax's opening statements about your man who's up for the triple homicide.
He's not a good person. Like, that shit's great.
I don't like him. He is not a nice guy. You're not going to like him. And your man just being so mad, and he's like, well, at least this way, if they don't like you, they will believe that you're out fucking your secretary. And just the realisation of, oh, you played us all.
I like when he tells him, listen to me like you've never listened to anybody in your life before. But no, all the courtroom stuff is good. Well, the opening scene in the courtroom with the Geddes case is, you're not supposed to like Lomax in that scene. But then you see, it shows you how he's as good as he is because he gets this obvious paedophile off the charges. Yeah. But then all the other stuff, his first kind of bit where he's picking the jury and the other lawyer is like, you're mad. And he's like, no, look at her. Like, she's got an axe to grind. This guy, you see just another brother, but I see somebody who makes his own clothes and who has a gun under his pillow. Like, and the Moyes case.
Oh, with the sacrificing of the goat?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's supposed to be a Haitian voodoo guy because he's French and he's working with dead animal bits.
Some sort of voodoo
or he speaks French, but gets him off under kosher butchering laws.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That defense is beautiful. He's like, oh, it's just the same as doing this. He was doing his like legally protected religious rights.
Yeah, but all that side of it.
And also presenting that to a Jewish judge who's well aware, and it was like, that's a nice touch. That's good.
Yeah, he does his research on all parties, not just the defendants.
Covers all the bases.
Yeah, all that stuff is really well done, really well entertaining. I don't know how accurate it is to courtrooms. As I
think it's not at all.
No, but I don't watch a lot of courtroom stuff, so I don't know if it's good compared to the other stuff.
I just gotta go off my cousin Vinny.
Well, that's supposed to be very accurate.
Yeah.
That gets used in like law schools.
Yeah.
No, I did. I enjoyed all the courtroom stuff in it. Like, it's not... not that I thought it was going to be a drag, but it could have been a drag depending on what way they wanted to go with the plot. If they wanted to focus a lot more on the devil stuff, the courtroom stuff could have been a drag, but the courtroom stuff is what brings him closer and closer to Milton as the plot goes on. So I like how they've woven both aspects of it together.
Yeah, well, he's encouraging, like, he knows it's his ego. You're going to win him over by stroking that ego of his. And giving him the wins on these difficult cases.
He's doing it both in the courtroom and outside the courtroom, and he's taking him off to the boxing matches and the dancing
this is Don King.
Yeah, doing all that that's not just the seduction.
And
all
the
the
really
stuff that's happening
giving
in the
him
courtroom.
like the really nice apartment and all of that shit that he's never in anyway, but like to appease the wife.
But I like that it's not just the obvious seduction through like lust and greed and
he's not taking him out to big fancy restaurants. He's taking these little like hole in the wall places.
Oh no, but I like that it's not just that he's also seducing him through the courtroom and all the stuff
the
that's going down there
and the accolades
and the wins and it's really fun. It's just a really well constructed and well woven together film. I do have some issues with it, like I mentioned earlier, and you mentioned Christabella's not.
She's not great. I just think she's not necessary. Like, they push too much at the end with her storyline, and it's like, no, you could have had him, but you could have been like, oh, you and your sister or half sister, whatever the fuck she is, can run the firm together. You didn't have to push the all incest line.
Antichrist thing. Well, they could have just had it as...
why didn't he have, like, they're already fucking with him when he thinks he's like... When Marianne's having the breakdown and he's like, oh, we'll make a baby, and he's seeing Christabella.
Yeah.
Just body swap him out. Like, like they don't have to go. It just seemed like the destruction of Marianne, or why does he try to seduce Marianne in? Because he's gotten the other wives, clearly.
I think he's inherently supposed to know, and she's supposed to be an inherently good character, that he wouldn't be able to seduce her, so he has to destroy her.
Yeah.
And make her go crazy. But I think he could nearly, and nothing against the actress, but I think he could nearly remove Christabella entirely from the plot, because
he's not tempted by her, realistically.
Not really. And if you want to show that, you can show him being tempted by other women any other number of ways. You don't have to have a whole character devoted to it. her whole point is that the devil needs both of them to create the Antichrist.
Don't tell me it's your sister then.
Well, not that, but traditionally isn't the Antichrist born of Satan and a human?
That would be a Nephilim.
But is it the Antichrist? Is it not supposed to be in a lot of like renditions? It's Satan's kid.
Yeah.
With a human.
Well, Lucifer, because Lucifer.
Just you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that is Kevin.
It's generally brought about through like a corruption of like an innocent or something like that.
Yeah, and there's often a push and pull, like in Good Omens. They get the wrong kid, but you've got an angel and a demon there trying to sway the Antichrist both ways. In Supernatural, you've got Jack, who could go either way. And here, why not just make Kevin the Antichrist? And the whole thing is, you actually are the Antichrist, and I'm trying to bring...
He's called Kevin.
But in terms of...
This is the Antichrist.
If the whole point of Christabella as a character is so that the devil can bring about the Antichrist, why not just remove her entirely and make Kevin the Antichrist, and it be about trying to seduce him over to evil? Yeah. Because that's what he's trying to do anyway, and it just seems like Christabella is an unnecessary thing in there, and it's a long enough film as it is already.
Yeah, she feels really unnecessary to me, because if that's his point from the very start, why is she such a fucking bitch to him at the beginning?
Because she's probably jealous.
Yeah.
I think if for her it is a jealousy thing of I'm the devil's daughter. I'm Lucy the devil's daughter.
Yeah.
And who's this new boy? Like, I don't need a brother. I can take over. I can take over Dad's empire.
But she does say later on, she's like, I've been waiting for you. Like,
I think at first it is
that.
supposed to just be an initial But like I said, I feel like we could do without her entirely, and then I kind of feel like Mary Ann's descent is a little underserviced in this film.
Yeah, because you don't see it, you don't get it. There's no real they do have those great
but it just seems to progress too quickly.
Yeah,
like I feel like there just could be maybe another scene or two in there that shows her descent a little bit more.
Well, they said there's a deleted scene when she's up in the tower where she's looking for Kevin, and she walks into the library and there's like a threesome happening, and she's invited to join, and she's like, ugh, and leaves, and that's when she has the panic attack.
Yeah.
So things like that where she's being exposed to like the debauchery. And the women poking at her, like every time she paints green,
you can see it.
Your one is wearing the same shade of fucking green, but being like, oh no.
Yeah, because when they're like clothes shopping and the two women are happy to get naked, and she's supposed to be a bit like uncomfortable by it.
Yeah.
And then she sees the demon face. I feel like if they held off on the demon face and then had that scene where she's walks in on the threesome and had that a bit later, but when I was thinking about it, the one thing I love
about the demon bit in the dressing room is the hands going
moving
down
under the skin. Yeah, the face looks a bit, but the hands in the skin look...
Yeah, I'd be out of there too.
But yeah, I as we were watching it, I was thinking, especially the second time, that her storyline is a little bit underserviced, but I was like, it's a nearly 2.5 hour long film anyway. Yeah. I don't need it to be longer. But yeah, if you take out the Christabella shit and give more to Mary Ann,
to her, yeah.
And then it wouldn't be any longer.
him turning to Milton in his grief and anger.
Yeah.
And having that be a bigger thing, because he goes to him and he's all angry and he shoots him and he's like, yo, this chick. And it's like, no, it shouldn't be. It draws the focus.
Well, yeah, especially because he has some more great speeches there where he's going, I'm a fan of man.
He's not a murderer.
What murders?
Oh God, I love that guy getting interviewed about the Gotti murder.
What murders?
Oh, he's so good.
But
Al Pacino going, I'm a fan of man.
I do appreciate one or two bits from Christabella there where she's just being like, Dad's being so over the top and he's going on one of his rants again. I'm just going to go and get a drink. Yeah. That's kind of funny.
I'm going to be over here.
But it doesn't justify her entire character.
No, it does not. Yeah, if she was in the movie, it would be a far better movie. Give more time to Mary Ann and her descent and her losing her, like...
Because he also
just and his frustrations with her,
but his frustrations with her just come across as him being an asshole.
Yeah, as opposed
as not somebody he's somebody who is being. He's like, oh great, my wife has fucking mental issues that I have to deal with when I should be at work. That's what he comes across as opposed to somebody who has been trying to help her and is kind of at the end of the rope and is frustrated and is like, what more can I do for you, kind of thing. Which is, I think, what they wanted to go for. But a lot of the time, he just comes across as like,
I don't have time for this, get away from me.
I think the worst of it is, and I suppose he's further in his descent then, but when she's in the church wrapped up in the thing and she tells him that she has been sexually assaulted by Milton. The first place he goes is, I was in court with Milton all day, which fair enough, you were. Yeah. But he says it in such an angry way. Like, you're wrong. Like, it couldn't have been. Like, the thought doesn't even enter his head that perhaps she was sexually assaulted by somebody who looked like him, or like she was drugged, or something has clearly happened to your wife that is very traumatic. You should not be going to anger because she accused your boss who you knew was somewhere else. Like, that just comes across as really, really dickish. And
especially when she stands up and shows, like, well, look what he did to me in that moment. And there's a wonderful piece of trivia that was not, like, that church was an actual working church, and the priest was there on the day, and she spoke to him and was like, kind of like, are you, like, I'm going to be naked, like, I just want to make sure it was okay with him. And he was like, no, this is such a beautiful story, because she's at her, like, lowest, and she's come to the church for comfort and and help.
Apparently it's also one of the only reasons that she agreed to do the nude scenes. Was she had a no nudity contract, and because that's mostly, there is a bit where I think she takes her top off earlier in the film, but it's not like a big sex scene or anything.
But this is like she's just wrapped in the duvet. She's walked down the road. Like, and she's gone to she's left her home, which should be her place of comfort.
When she exposes herself in the church, and she's covered in cuts and stuff. It's not supposed to be a sexual thing, and I think she was like, no,
of it.
And it is. It's quite important to the story and to the character's story, and that was kind of why she was like, okay, for this reason, I will do the nudity, like, and fair enough,
because she has gone immediately from the location of the attack. She hasn't stopped. She has literally just wrapped the duvet around herself and gone, and and then she's like, look at me and look what he did to me. And he still won't believe her. Yeah,
he, like, his development along that lines of his, like, kind of slowly not resenting her and stuff.
Well, that, when it culminates in his speech about, I'm afraid that I'll leave this and she'll get better and I'll hate her for it.
Well, that's before he finds her in the church. Yeah. Because
that's when they're having the conversation about how she's quite sick.
Yeah,
nobody will mind if, you know, you need to go and that's the whole, you need to go and look after your wife. Like, the world will understand. I'll understand. And he's like, for the love of God, like, she's sick. You need to go and look after her.
It's a disappointment, but we get them sometimes. And we learn
and
from
this
them
is
and
more
we move
important.
on.
Yeah. Like, the whole time he's telling him, I've made mistakes. I've taken losses. It's okay. And every single time he's like, no, not me.
And it is obviously a test from Milton.
Yeah.
But it's very much the type of test you expect Milton to give. If he's telling him, no, go and do the good thing. Go and do the good thing. I don't want you to come and do the evil thing with me. I want you to go and do the good thing.
Yeah, go do the right thing.
And then he finds a way to justify himself to go and do the evil thing. And Devil's like, okay, well, I tried. I
told you.
I tried. And that's what the devil does. That's what I like.
We told you. You made this choice. It's all free will. It's all that little fucking bastard free will.
And
we gave you the option. You chose.
Had he chose to go and deal with Marianne and help her.
If he had just let his mother take her home.
But had he done anything to help Marianne, I'm sure Milton would have found some other way to a new test for him after that one. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have just left it there. But in that... Yeah,
because he throws him the bone of being like, oh, you can consult, like, you can still be involved, but you don't have to be, like, at the front. Yeah. You know, it's not a loss. Like, nobody's going to think wrongly of you because your wife is ill.
There might be another test in that consultation that tries to draw him back in, but again, it would have to be his choice. Yeah. And we know there would be other tests because of the final kind of gotcha moment at the end of the film.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's my free will.
It's time for another go around kind of thing.
That wonderful 90s trope of have to have the last.
The last big scare. I don't mind it so much in this.
Because it's the wink and the nod, and you realise at the start that when he's leaving and he's like, oh, look, you might have to take a win in this one. That's like that little push. Yeah, because he's approached after that one.
Well,
that's the decider in the initial one.
But this time he, instead of convincing him, I don't know whether or not it's supposed to be Milton at the very start being that reporter. I'm going to assume it is. But that time the push is, hey, it might be your first loss, But this time, Milton has stood up, taken his first loss and made a big deal out of it. And now the reporter's like, hey, lawyer girls of conscience, that's a pretty big story. Why don't you come and... Yeah. And he's still getting him through vanity. The first time it's the vanity of not wanting to lose, and now it's the vanity of having done the right thing and being praised for it.
Yeah, because you find out later on that math teacher that he got off was pulled over and found with the body of a 10-year-old in the trunk of his car.
And nobody in the audience was surprised.
No.
We should probably mention the elephant in the room as well, given that there's paedophiles aplenty in this film. There's paedophiles in the cast because Jeffrey Pedo Jones plays Eddie Barzoom. At least Eddie gets it. And Eddie gets beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, well, he's already been touched by death, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah,
running in the park. Yeah,
as we said in Ravenous, fuck Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah.
Fuck Jeffrey Pedo Jones. Yep. Moving on.
The real estate developer, I've forgotten his name, but Cullen. His apartment is Trump's apartment.
Oh, gaudy as fuck.
Yeah, they literally...
they were like, where's the most gaudy place in New York we can film? And Trump was like, have my apartment.
Yeah, basically, he was like, oh, you want tack? Here you go. And it's so tacky.
And we are not surprised.
No. I also love the initial meeting with him at the top of the semi-constructed tower, and I was like, this isn't like underworldy at all with your mafia connections.
Having a meeting on top of
on top of a like semi-constructed skyscraper.
Yeah, that's pure mob meeting. Like, well, he's a real estate developer, so I assume he is mob. Well, I mean, the implication is definitely supposed to be that he is into dodgy stuff. How many hours? Like 16,000 hours they billed him for last year. But his whole thing as well of he killed 3 people and is having an affair with his 14-year-old stepdaughter. Yeah. And Kevin still defends him.
And
he
knows the secretary's lying.
He's like, you knew the secretary was lying. You put her up on the stand. You saw the pictures of those dead people and you still put them up there.
What was it? The wife, the stepson and the maid.
And it's just, I really, really, really enjoy that whole, the free will aspect of his descent.
But they're still coaxing him, though.
Oh yeah.
He does ultimately make the decisions, but they lead him.
Well, he says that. He says, I don't pull puppet strings. Yeah. I set the stage, but I don't pull the strings. You pull your own strings.
And the use of
that's the Satan I like.
The biblical quotes that they use throughout it.
Yeah.
Like
oh, behold, I send you out as sheep amidst the wolves.
No, the path to hell is like wide and inviting.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, it is.
Yep, but no, I like that. Those are the portrayals of Satan I like, when he's just... like when he's not making anybody do it. It's like, no, you did all this yourself. Yeah. Like, I just kind of helped you along a little bit and gave you some options, you know what I mean?
But you chose.
And Al Pacino just does such a really, really fucking amazingly good job of being that kind of Satan. And it's great. Particularly then when Lomax actually, finally gets to it and he's like, who are you? What are you? And he's like,
just call me Dad.
He's like, Satan? No, just call me Dad.
Yeah, he's like, I've had many names.
Yeah. And, one of the best things about this, given that the devil has had many names, I really, 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 really cannot say how much I appreciate the fact that this is a 90s supernatural movie about the devil that does not use sympathy for the devil in its closing credits. They use Painted Black, and I could not be happier. I was like, it's going to end with sympathy for the devil. It's going to end with sympathy for the devil.
It's Painted
Everything
Black.
ends with sympathy for the devil. No, they didn't. Wait, well done, sir. The restraint displayed there is incredible. Well, the
director of this did a lot of music videos. He also did An Officer and a Gentleman.
Why do we cover so many films by directors who do music videos?
But he did a lot of Lionel Richie. Like, Say You, Say Me, or You, See Me, and like loads of stuff like that. So, yeah, I think managed to avoid that horrible cliche of sympathy for the devil.
It's just... it just gets way... Like, I mean, Fallen used it, Interview with the Vampire used it.
They used the
shitty Guns N' Roses version, cover, I know. But yeah, it's just such an obvious choice, and I was just so happy that they didn't go for it. What are some of your other favourite bits about it then?
No, I enjoy Eddie Bazoom being chased through the park.
Yeah, that look, with the whole George Carlin-esque rant about what the future is going on in the background.
But the way everybody, he's only ever referred to as Eddie Bazoom, and I don't know why his name amuses me so much.
Eddie Barzoom.
And even when they're doing the eulogy later on in the funeral, and you can hear the priest calling him Eddie Barzoom, and he's always just like full name Eddie Barzoom.
That bit where Milton kills the Weaver Commission guy.
Yeah, with the card.
But putting the finger in the holy water.
Yeah.
But the look on Al Pacino's face the whole time he's doing it, he's like walking. No, but he walks up to that fountain like whatever, like a naughty little boy with his hands behind his back,
like eyeballing
the painted statue, the painted glass, and the paintings on the ceiling. And then when he goes to put his finger right into it, he looks directly up, as if to say, "Look at what I'm doing, Dad." It's just. The little bits like that from him are brilliant. The little flicks of the tongue behind the teeth that he does.
The triple laugh.
And then, his various little speeches about never let him see you come and stay down in the trenches, like be with the little people.
One of my favourite parts of this is because you know the way he's got like Lomax has the snakeskin boots. He's like the whole Florida cowboy type thing.
Yeah.
And there's when they're having the chat out on the scary infinity pool balcony.
Yeah.
And he looks...
Over the edge?
No, when he looks at Milton's shoes and he's got like heels on. Well, they're like...
Oh, are they?
They're a little bit stacked. They're like, like flamenco, those kind of like heeled boots. That's what he's wearing because he's a little dude, like.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks and is like, he's wearing heels. It's just really funny because he's like talking about some like really important thing and Lomax is just like, he's wearing heels.
I loved all the constant evoking of like the Roman Senate in the murals, because obviously they're in a lot of courtrooms and stuff like that. And then you've got all the Milton-esque and Bosch-esque stuff towards the end with the weird moving murals statue and stuff. Yeah,
his big statue.
All of that looks particularly good, and so does actually when the 4 joggers of death. Or sorry, of the apocalypse instead of the 4 horsemen.
And because
the way they shift in and out of vision.
Death rides a pale green horse.
Yeah, or in this case, wears a pale green hoodie.
Yeah, because everyone thinks Death rides a white horse. It is a pale horse, but it's a pale green horse because of the original translations.
Yeah, and one of the other ones is white.
Yeah, Pestilence.
I think Pestilence is white. Yeah.
War is red and Famine is black.
Is black.
Black.
Yeah.
Conquest is black.
No, Conquest is white.
White, yeah.
War is red and famine is black because Pestilence isn't one of the 4 horsemen. No, Pestilence is just something that they bring.
Yes.
As we discovered the other day.
Well, in fairness, that is one of my favourite books. So
Revelations. Yeah. It's just because it's crazy.
It is completely mental and well worth a read if you've never read it before.
The language takes a bit of getting used to.
It does, but you can get really good companions for it because it's some dude's like really cool acid trip.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of language, I was very happy to hear one of my favourite curses in this when one of the lawyers asked, "What is this happy horse shit?" I love that phrase. That's the bit where he's like, "If we go with this jury, I walk," and Lehman's just like "Okay, walk." Lehman kind of drops off as well.
Yeah, well, his wife becomes more of the central focus because she's the one interacting a lot with Marianne. And she also has that line when they're talking about like never seeing each other and she's like, "Oh, when I have to make an appointment to see Lehman." And you do see him a little bit in the run up to that trial as well, because he's there when they're having, the 3 of them have the discussion with, when they find out that he's just been shot. Yeah. Or he's just been arrested for murder. And
but after that,
he
just kind of disappears into the background. Like, Pam stays there as like his constant kind of companion and guide.
Bucket-headed Wendy.
Yeah, she's of course the one with the Karen haircut is like directly in league with the devil, and knowingly so, because I think the rest of them are just supposed to be,
I think they've all been
Barzoom and Lehman and their partners.
Their greed and their lust for power.
They're taken in by it, but I don't think they know their boss is the devil. Pam knows.
And Pam's cool with it.
Because Pam's like, he's been waiting for you.
Yeah.
You know, off you go. He'll take away your fear. He'll make it so that you never hurt again. He can do that. Like, so she knows her boss is the devil.
Yeah.
She's perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, she's 100% fine with that old helmet head going on.
Yeah, she's like, I get to be nanny to the Antichrist. I'm fine with that. Or the Antichrist's dad, but we've talked about that already.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of her last bit. She's there. Obviously, Barzoom gets killed.
Yeah.
And Lehman just kind of fades into the background of the film.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't that important.
No, he's overall, the guy who sent initially to make contact and make the offer, and he's just kind of there to settle them in, but he seems to be like his PA, like Milton's PA almost.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's the comment about that she makes, it's like, oh, it took us 3 years to get into the building or whatever, like the little bit of shit.
Oh, yeah, it's like, say we were 6 years with the company before we got taken in here.
Into
Yeah.
the building, yeah.
Yeah, that side of it, we haven't, well, you've mentioned it a little bit, but yeah, Marianne and Charlize Theron in particular, she plays it so well, like the descent. We have complained a little bit about how we can see the more,
frustration building in it. You get a lot of the frustration. There doesn't seem to be a snap event. She just kind of tumbles. Well, obviously what happens with Milton, but the lead up to that, like she's trying to decorate, she's overwhelmed. People are like, also, that's not how you pronounce brocade.
It wasn't brocade, it was damask. This is a damask panel.
No, it's not. Shut your face. Don't be that snotty if you can't say the word right.
Yeah, because...
Fucking, like, she's getting overwhelmed by this, and it's all this money and glitz and glamour, and, like, she's made a couple of comments. Then she has
the not particularly fun let's make a baby moment with him.
Yeah.
And then the bad dream, having found out that she can't make a baby.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it is just a slow descent rather than any one cracking moment.
Yeah, like she's isolated. These women are all vipers.
Yeah.
Who seem to be like, they're like, why do you need your husband? Like, we have their money. That's all we need.
Yeah, well, they are.
Friends.
And they are. I think they are there to tempt her.
Yeah.
And it's
to see if they can bring her in.
It doesn't work for her.
No.
But yeah, Charlize Theron played. I didn't realise she was as young as she was in this role. She plays a blinder as well. Like, she's so good in this. Particularly from the start, where she's almost more...
confident and take charge.
Well, she's more overtly what they want Kevin to be at the start. She's all like, woo, we got that pedo, like, off. He's a free man now. Yeah, woo, let's celebrate.
The 38-minute deliberation. She's like, oh, honey, like... He was like, anybody could see he was guilty.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, except
but I got him off. And she's like, woohoo! But,
yeah.
But
like the morality of it doesn't get to her. She's like, all
at
this
the start,
money.
Yeah.
Like, she's the one that's like, when he's like, we can go back. And she's like, what? And do what? Like,
but
stay in the condo,
even before they
struggle.
go there, just when you see her in the courtroom with him in the first scene, and then when they're out on the piss and stuff, she's the one who seems to be more callous towards it. She's like, woohoo, my husband won a case, like fuck whatever the case was about. But she actually is the one who resists it all way more than he does as the film goes on. There's we had our complaints about it, but there's way more to appreciate about this film than there is to not appreciate. Yeah. I really, really, really fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where the more you watch it, you start to see the pawns and the strings being pulled and things coming together.
Perhaps not quite as much as last week with Moon.
No, but there is moments where you're like, oh, that's where they've made this. Like when he's got the two girls in the elevator.
Yeah. And
he's like, you sure you don't want to come on?
Yeah.
Come on. And she's standing at the door fucking glaring. And her ma is there as well. His mother is fantastic.
I can't remember the actress's name.
She's been in tons of stuff. She's fantastic. Oh, she's incredible in this. But like, yeah, her story's not very satisfying either. Like he was the waitress and he
was the waiter.
He was the it would have been funny if he was the waitress. It's just a bit like...
Is she supposed to know he was the devil, or is she just like... Oh crap, my son's great new job. Well, no, but my son's great new job is because...
Or is that why she's so God-fearing now? Because maybe she got a clue.
Well, she was there on like a Bible camp or something. Well, yeah,
she's a pastor's daughter.
But yeah, it's like, it seems to be kind of implied that she knows. Then she has that bit about like, you were so proud of getting this job.
Yeah, did she just not want to crush him to be
like, oh, the only reason you have the job is because Dad's looking out for you. And he's like, say it. And she says, Milton is your father. And then he rushes off.
Yeah, so I don't know how much she's aware of.
Yeah, and even then, is at that point, is he realising that his boss is the devil? Or is he just going to confront his dad?
Yeah, and be like, did you do all this? It's
not until he walks outside and that
there's nobody there.
There's nobody there that then, on that lonely walk, he might be like, oh fuck, okay, hang on. But yeah, I'm not sure whether or not the mom's supposed to know. I think she is supposed to know that he's the devil.
Not right, anyway.
Yeah, well, especially because of how she talks about it in a very similar way to what Marianne says when she's admitting to the fact that she was sexually assaulted. She says, we talked for hours and I had nobody to talk, like nobody
had ever spoken to me
like that. What Marianne says anymore, but the mum says before.
Yeah.
So it's a very... I think the implication is that she had very much a similar encounter with him as Marianne did. So probably does know he's Satan. Because there would have been some weird shit.
Does not want him near her.
Yeah.
Or at the very least,
But yeah,
because there's
parts of the ending do fall down a little bit there. His little speech
where he's on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most depraved acts known to mankind, and 1 being an average Friday night around the Lomax house.
Yeah, your average run through at the Lomax household.
Hit a solid 7.
A modest 7, I think is what he says. But there are bits where it falls apart a little bit toward the ending. The stuff with the mom is a bit kind of rushed, and the stuff with Christabella is a bit meh. But overall, particularly just because of Al Pacino, it's a fucking great film. It's a really, really, really good film. Yeah. I would happily watch it again.
No, it is. I just really enjoyed it. It's you can read into it a lot, or you can just watch it surface level.
Oh yeah, I think it's quite fun just on surface level of the devil runs a law firm and he's trying to seduce his... Yeah, I just love his speech about how lawyers are everywhere now. We're the new priests, dude. I used to try and convert priests. Yeah. The never let us see you coming speech, I love.
And there's loads of really subtle nods. Everybody who's kind of on his side, they all smoke heavily. Mm. You see Lomax starting to smoke cigarettes. Yeah. The more he gets into it, it's little nods like that. I really enjoy throughout it.
For a fairly big blockbuster film of the late 90s, there's enough subtle in it.
Well, Sam Raimi was considered to direct, which would have been a completely different movie.
I'm sure it would have been excellent, but it would have been a completely different film and probably a lot less serious. Yeah. But no, I've forgotten who directed this, but they did a damn good job.
So it was directed by Taylor Hackford.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, he did a damn good job. Well done, sir. I'm sure my praise means nothing to you, but well done, sir. But And
DP was Andrei Barshevik. I've never been able to pronounce his name. He did Doom. Doom, Species, Speed, Romeo Must Die, loads, 13 Days, Gossip, all of them. Lethal Weapon.
Oh, should be
Dante's Peak. Yeah, he's done everything. Falling Down, which is Falling Down. Or in Finnish, A Bad Day.
One Bad Day.
I love the Finnish title. It should have been released under the Finnish title.
Well, rather appropriately, not Finnish, but next week we are doing a Scandinavian film. Yay! In as much as next week's episode is Troll Hunter.
Yay! Troll!
So thank you for joining us for Devil's Advocate, guys. We will be back next week, but in the meantime, if you want, you can head back and listen to some of our previous episodes or our other podcast, MonoRants the Boys, or you can come and chat with us on Twitter at RantsMono, on Instagram at MonoRants_the_boys, or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll chat next week. Bye bye.